Which property refers to the ability of material to resist external force without breaking? Option D, strength. What is the primary difference between stiffness and strength? Option B, stiffness resists deformation while strength resists breaking. Which material is mentioned as being more elastic than rubber? Option B, mild steel. Which property allows a material to be drawn into thin wire under tensile force? Option B, ductility. Plasticity is a desirable property for which of the following applications? Option A, stamping on coin and ornaments. Malleability is the property that allows a material to be, option D, rolled into thin sheets. Which of the following material is malleable but not ductile? Option B, lead. A material is considered brittle if its present elongation is less than, option C, 5%. Brittleness is considered the opposite property of option A, ductility. The ability of a material to resist scratching, wears, and abrasion is known as option B, hardness, which property is measured by the Brinell and Rockwell test. Option B, hardness. Toughness is defined as the ability to resist fracture due to, option B, high impact load. Toughness is measured in terms of, option B, energy absorbed per unit volume. Which property allows a material to store energy under impact and release it when the load is removed? Option B, resilience. Resilience is a necessary property for which specific mechanic component, mechanic component. Option C, springs. What is creep in engineering material? Option D, slow permanent deformation under constant stress at high temperature. In which component is creep a critical design factor? Option D, turbine blades. What causes a material to fail due to fatigue? Option B, repeated cyclic loads. In fatigue failure, the maximum stress in each cycle is usually, option D, within the elastic limit. Which of these is a common example of a part prone to fatigue failure? Option B, connecting rods. Corrosion is the gradual destruction of metal due to exposure to, option B, moistures, acids, and chemicals. Which of the following is categorized as a physical property? Option A, density. Thermal conductivity is an example of which type of property? Option B, thermal property. Which category includes properties like malleability and castability? Option D, technologically technological properties. Microstructures and composition are example of, option B, chemical properties. Reflective and absorptive are classified as option A, optical property. Hysteresis and permeability are example of, option C, magnetic property. Which property is described as the ability to cut another material? Option C, hardness. What happens when a load is removed from a elastic material? Option A, it returns to its original shape and size. Plastic deformation occurs only after the stress exceeds the, option C, elastic limit. Which of these material is especially mentioned as being brittle. Option B, cast iron. Which property allows a material to absorb energy during impact load? Specifically, option D, resilience. Stiffness is measured by using option C, elasticity. The ability of material to resist deformation under external force is option C, stiffness. Which material is used as an example of having good toughness? Option A, high carbon steel. Boiler and turbines requires materials that resist. Option A, creep. Which of these properties is categorized as technological? Option C, weldability. A hammer blow is used to describe the load condition for testing which property. Option D, toughness. Which property is measured by the percentage of elongation? Option A, ductility. If a material fails at a stress lower than its yield point under repeated loading, it is a option C, failure fatigue. Lusters and color are examples of what type of property? Option B, physical. Resistivity and conductivity electrically are categorized as option C, electrical property. The property of a material to be bent without cracking is associated with option C, malleability. Which of the following describes a material that breaks with almost no deformation? Option D, brittle. High temperature is a prerequisite for which mechanical failure properties? Option A, creep. Which property is most important for materials used in manufacture of gears? Option A, fatigue resistance. The material used for cutting tool most primarily produces high, option D, hardness. Percentage elongation is used to distinguish between option B, ductility and brittleness. The property that allows a material to return stored energy is option A, resilience. Which of the property is relevant when considering a material resistance to moistures and acid? Option C, corrosion resistance. Thank you.